Once upon a time, in the heart of a thick, luscious forest, lived a wildcat named Whiskers. This was no ordinary forest. It was a world filled with enchanting creatures, and Whiskers was one of the most captivating. She was swift, agile, and her emerald green eyes could spot a mouse from a mile away. Sharing this vibrant forest with Whiskers was Chirpy, an eagle with a heart as grand as his wingspan. He was known for his keen sight and his soaring flights that took him high above the forest canopy. In the shadows, Sniffy the civet lurked. He was a creature of the night, with a keen sense of smell and a gentle demeanor. His expertise? Finding the best berries in the forest. Whiskers, Chirpy and Sniffy, though different in many ways, shared a bond of friendship. They looked out for each other and celebrated the beauty of their home together. Together, they lived in harmony, each unique yet part of the same vibrant forest. One day, Whiskers woke up to find that his favorite tree had lost all its leaves overnight. Imagine the shock. This was the tree that Whiskers, our animated wildcat, loved to lounge on during sunny afternoons. It was his favorite spot to watch the forest, his kingdom, from above. Now, this wasn't any ordinary tree. It had the tallest branches, the lushest leaves, and the juiciest fruits. It was the envy of all the trees in the forest, but today it stood bare and lifeless, its leaves scattered all around like a green carpet. Whiskers was puzzled. He tilted his head, squinted his eyes and looked at the tree, trying to figure out what could have gone wrong. He had seen trees shedding leaves in autumn, but this was the middle of summer. Feeling a bit lost, Whiskers decided to seek the help of his friends, Chirpy the eagle and Sniffy the civet. Chirpy, with her keen eyesight, flew around the tree, closely examining it from every angle. Sniffy, with his sharp nose, sniffed around for any unusual scents. But despite their best efforts, they couldn't figure out what was wrong. The trio stood there, looking at the tree with a mix of concern and confusion. Whiskers felt a pang of sadness as he looked at his favorite tree, stripped of its beauty. He missed the rustling sound of its leaves, the cool shade it provided, and the sweet fruits it bore. Chirpy and Sniffy shared Whiskers' worries. They too loved the tree, for it was a part of their home, their forest. They knew they had to do something, but what could they do? They were just a wildcat, an eagle, and a civet. They didn't know much about trees or why they might lose their leaves. After much thought, they came up with a plan. They decided to seek help from the wise old owl who lived deep in the forest. With courage in their hearts, our trio embarked on their journey to find the wise old owl. The forest was a maze of towering trees and winding paths, a challenge for even the most seasoned explorer. Yet the wildcat, civet and eagle, with their unique skills and unwavering determination, were ready to face the unknown. The wildcat, agile and quick, led the way, using her keen sense of direction to navigate through the dense undergrowth. The civet, with his sharp eyes, was on the lookout for any danger that might be lurking in the shadows. The eagle, soaring high above, provided a bird's-eye view of the path ahead. Together, they were a formidable team, each bringing something different to the table, yet working in perfect harmony. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, they faced their fair share of challenges. A river too wide to cross, a mountain too steep to climb, a path too dark to see. Yet each time they faced an obstacle, they found a way to overcome it. The wildcat would devise a plan, the civet would find the resources, and the eagle would provide the perspective. It was a testament to their teamwork and tenacity, a demonstration of their courage and cleverness. One night, they found themselves lost amidst a thicket of thorns. But instead of panicking, they used their collective wit to find a way out. The eagle flew up and spotted a clearing not too far away. The wildcat guided them through the thicket, and the civet used his nimble paws to clear the path. It was a close shave, but they made it out unscathed. The journey was long and tiring, but they never gave up. They pushed through the exhaustion, the fear, the uncertainty, because they knew they had a mission to complete. They knew they had to find the wise old owl, and they were not about to let anything stand in their way. After a tiring journey, they reached the wise old owl's tree. Their faces lit up with relief and anticipation, knowing they were one step closer to their goal. They had faced the challenges of the forest and emerged victorious, but their journey was far from over. The wise old owl listened to their problem and nodded his head. It was a quiet moment in the forest as the trio of friends, the animated wildcat, the civet, and the eagle, waited with bated breath for the owl's response. The owl, with his eyes as deep as a starry night, began to speak. His voice was a soothing murmur, like the rustling of leaves in a gentle breeze. "You see, my friends," he started, "what you perceive as a problem is nothing but a natural process. The tree is not dying, it is merely changing, just as we all do with time." The friends looked at each other, confusion etched on their faces. The owl continued, "Have you noticed the chill in the air, the crunch of leaves under your feet, the shorter days and longer nights? It's autumn, my dear friends. The tree is shedding its leaves, preparing for the winter ahead." The owl's words hung in the air, a comforting murmur amidst the whispers of the forest. "In the heart of winter it may seem as if the tree is dead, but fear not. When spring arrives you'll see new leaves sprouting, vibrant and full of life. The tree will bloom again, just as it has done for countless seasons." The animated wildcat, the civet and the eagle listened carefully, their worries melting away with the owl's wise words. "Remember, my friends, change is not always a cause for alarm. It's often just a sign of growth, of life moving forward. So fear not the changing seasons. Embrace them, for they bring with them their own charm and wisdom." As days passed, the trio watched as the tree started sprouting new leaves. The forest air was filled with a crisp freshness, the kind that comes with new beginnings. The sight of the tree, once barren and desolate, now brimming with life, was a sight to behold. It was as if the tree had woven itself a verdant cape, each leaf a testament to perseverance. Our friends, Whiskers the wildcat, Chirpy the eagle and Sniffy the civet, could hardly contain their joy. Their hearts were aflutter with happiness, and their eyes sparkled brighter than the dewdrops on the new leaves. They danced around the tree, their paws, claws and talons creating a rhythmic symphony on the forest floor. It was a celebration of life, a celebration of hope. Whiskers, with his striped coat gleaming in the sunlight, leapt and twirled, his wild spirit echoing through the forest. Chirpy, with wings spread wide, soared high, her piercing cries of joy resonating with the rustling leaves. And Sniffy, with his sharp nose twitching excitedly, scampered around, his happiness leaving a trail of giggles in the air. The forest, once quiet and anxious, now hummed with joy and relief. The old wise owl, from his perch high above, watched the celebration with a knowing smile. He knew that the trio had learned a valuable lesson, one that would stay with them forever. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, our friends settled down. They sat under the tree, its leaves rustling softly like a lullaby. Their hearts were full of gratitude for the journey they had embarked upon, for the wisdom they had gained, and for the friendships they had forged. And so they learned that change is a part of life, and there's always hope, even when things seem bleak. The day ended with the promise of many more adventures to come, and as night fell, the forest was filled with dreams of tomorrow.